Hey guys, Xaryu here, and today I'm going to walk you through some sub-arcane discipline RMP from the point of view of my sub-rogue Roastmaster X, which you guys haven't seen in quite some time. It's actually been way too long, but HANSOL asked me to queue yesterday, and I love playing with my boy HANSOL, so we're hopping into some games. Some of these games were without Discord, and some of them were in Discord, so some of them might be a little sloppier and less coordinated, but we were just playing for fun, had a great queue session. But what I want to focus this video on is when you can make effective healer swaps versus when sometimes you don't want to make effective healer swaps and you kind of want to not go healer for the time being. So right away that Demon Hunter pops eye, going to line aside and let my mage pop the eye, and right now I'm looking for the rest of Druid to go for a sap. Doesn't look like I'm going to be able to find them, so I am going to start with a blind onto the Druid because I couldn't sap. Now I also could have kidneyed the Druid, cheap shot warrior, cheap shot Demon Hunter, or I could blind Druid, cheap shot warrior, maybe kidney Demon Hunter, something like that. So we'll see what we actually do here. Druid trinkets the blind, and I do like a soft open Demon Hunter. Notice, as soon as I notice the Druid trinkets the blind, I'm not using Cold Blood, I'm not using Symbols, I'm not using Gormaz. We got the Druid's trinket. Now, if he was sitting it, here I would be popping a lot more damage, going to try to, force cooldowns from the Demon Hunter, maybe force his trinket, and then once we got his blur, or more defensive cooldowns, Trinket Darkness, then we can swap onto the warrior as well and start doing a lot of damage. But since the Druid trinketed, I'm holding my damage cooldowns, and right now I'm pretty much calling for a Druid swap, because if we can get the Druid out of form without a trinket and get any type of CC like other DPS, Fears, or Sheeps, the Druid's just dead 100-0, and that's what I'm thinking of right now in this game. When can that next Druid swap come? Now I get imprisoned, I get the Vortex out of the way, and I'm like, get ready to go Druid, because that's what I want to do. Full poly onto the warrior, kidney, step, kidney onto the Druid. We have the kidney out of form, so pretty much at this point, Druid's going to die if he doesn't get peeled, right? I mean, he has skin, but he's full kidney shot out of form, and I have Cold Blood, I have Gormaz, I have Symbols, I have Dance, and my Arcane Mage is connecting some damage as well. So at this point, we're going to need to get Feared, we're going to need to get Storm Bolted, they're going to need Darkness to survive, something like that in order for that to happen. Warrior comes back, Demon Hunter comes back, I get stunned, I Trinket, I restun the Druid 3 times, kidney cheap, use every single offensive cooldown, and the Druid does go down. So that was kind of, walking you through the game as I saw it, right? I'm opening, I blind the Druid, I see that he trinkets, save all my damage, swap to the Druid with the full kidney shot, he does go down. Now, if they played a little better defensively, they would have lived a little bit longer, right? If they used that Darkness, or if the peels were like a Fear, and then I trinketed, and then I got Storm Bolted, or then I got Metamorphosis, or Demon Hunter stunned, then the Druid might have lived. But the point is, this game is taking you through it as I saw it. The Druid did trinket the full blind, get the full kidney on him, and then killed him 100-0 with that setup. Alright guys, and here on the Grand Arena, we're playing the exact same composition. We're fighting an Ellie Shaman, a Boomkin, and a Resto Shaman, so swaps can definitely happen here as well. And I want you guys to keep an eye out for that. It's going to be on the non-Earth Shield. So I don't think we're in Skype for this one. What I typed in party chat was go between Ellie Shaman and Resto Shaman depending on Earth Shield. Okay, so if the Resto Shaman has Earth Shield, what we're going to do is kidney shot him into a Polymorph or a Fear, and then get damage onto the Ellie Shaman. If the Ellie Shaman has Earth Shield, we're going to cheap shot the Ellie, kidney that Resto, get some CC onto the Boomkin, maybe a counter spell or a Fear, and then get that triple CC, and then go onto the Resto Shaman. So that's going to be what we do. I do get found out, which is unfortunate, but I get the full blind anyway. Cheap shot coming out onto Reno Pie, ton of damage coming out, and he does trinket and wall here in the opener. So I use Symbols, I use Dance, I use Cold Blood, I still have Gormaz available though for this swap. So now look guys, the Shaman, the Ellie Shaman has Earth Shield, and he's an Earthen Shield Totem. This is when you don't want to do damage to the Ellie Shaman. He's very, very tanky. This is when we want to look for a healer swap or look for a Boomkin swap. Boomkin still has skin, still has a lot of cooldowns. Don't think I really want to go on the Boomkin, right now at least. I think the Shaman, the healer Shaman would be a better strategy. He's also off stun DR, so we can definitely set something like that up. So that's really what I'm looking for. I'm building up combo points, and here is what I really want to mention. This is what helps us land a kill. I get the Nightblade onto Simply Shredded before I swap to him. So at this point, I have a Nightblade on Reno Pie, and I have a Nightblade on Simply Shredded, which means I can go on either one depending on who he has Earth Shield. If he Earth Shields himself, I just kidney him, and then we get the Sheep or Fear off, and then we go Renopie. If he doesn't Earth Shield himself, then we kidney him, and guess what? He already has that pre-Nightblade. He's going to get destroyed, and he's going to be forced to Trinket and Link. So we'll see what happens. He doesn't swap Earth Shield, so I get the full kidney on him, and step kidney him, right? So I still have Gormaz. I don't have Cold Blood or Symbols, but keep in mind I have that pre-Nightblade up. He's already at, as soon as that kidney lands, he's at 86% health with a 5-point Nightblade, and I still have Gormaz and Dance. So he's going to take so much damage. He's pretty much going to have to Trinket Link. His teammates aren't really close enough for Link. Right now is when he should have Trinket Linked, but he does just go down. So that's kind of the swap. So once again, guys, the Shaman could have lived if he Trinket Linked, but I'm taking you through it, my point of view, you know, why I was doing what I did. And that was really based off of Earth Shield. Look at the damage breakdown. So much damage done in that such a short game. But keeping the Nightblade onto targets really makes you like nimble. You could go Shaman, the Ellie Shaman if he didn't have Earth Shield, or you could go Resto Shaman if he didn't have Earth Shield, and either one you're going to do so much damage to because you had that foresight to put the Nightblade on beforehand. Blackrock Arena, we're fighting a Frost DK, Destruction Warlock, and a Holy Paladin. Similar type of thing. I'm going to throw the Sap onto the Death Knight here, the Mark for Death Kidney onto the Paladin, and the Step Sheep onto the Destruction Warlock. And what I want to point out here in this opener is that, look, the Pally's in the Kidney, the DK's in the Sap, the Destruction Warlock's in the Cheap Shot. We have that triple CC coming out, and this is what you want to aim for when you're playing RMP. If you're not getting triple CC, guys, you're not doing it right. You want to get that triple CC so that your burst is scarier, that all of your damage lands. They're so, you know, it's so good to get that triple CC. We get the Fear off the Kidney onto the Pally, no follow-up CC on the DK, the Blood Elf Silence to follow onto the Pally, and the Sacrifice does come out. Now that the Sacrifice came out, I'm doing some damage onto the Pally, get that Nightblade on. The Pally's actually getting very low from the Arcane Mage's damage. HANSOL just lighting that guy up, but he does pop wings, he does top himself back up, and now we're switching pressure on over to the Warlock, but I'm keeping both targets in mind, right? I want the Pally or the Warlock. DK, not so much because he has so many defensive cooldowns. Here, we're going to throw the Kidney and the Bomb onto the Warlock. Maybe not the greatest bomb in the world. He's not super far, wasn't super set up, but Pally trinkets and sacks and runs into the Bomb. AMZ as well. So we get Trinket, Sack, AMZ, so many defensive cooldowns here from that go. And now we're just switching damage onto the Pally because he does have that sacrifice damage from the Warlock, and he is low himself, and he has no Trinket. So Pally is a great kill target right now. DK Trinkets to peel as well. And now, since the Pally kind of runs away, kind of survives a little bit, I'm back onto the Warlock as soon as that sacrifice ends. Warlock's 50% life now. Next CC we get onto the Pally. Should spell at the end of the game pretty soon here because they don't have much left at all. Throw the full blind onto the Pally. Kidney Shot, Cheap Shot actually comes out onto the Warlock. Could have kidneyed there as well. Cold Blood comes out. Eviscerate's coming out. Gormaz coming out in a second here. Pally bubbles. Looks like it's going to be too late. Warlock goes down anyway. So yeah, guys, this was a game where I wanted to swap Pally, but I didn't want to force it, right? We swapped Pally when he had his sacrifices up. We swapped Pally when he was off Stun DR and he had no Trinket. Those were good swaps, but we didn't want to just train the Pally. It's a mistake to just train something down when you're playing sub. I think the swapping constantly is the strength of sub rogue, especially in a comp like Frost Mage or Arcane Mage with a sub rogue. So I want to constantly be swapping around, constantly keeping them on their toes and making them scared, like who is he going to kill? And in this game, we were just swapping on the Pally when he was in a good position, swapping on the Pally, you know, when he ran into the bomb, swapping on the Pally when he uses those sacks. So we got some more of their defensive cooldowns, and we weren't even really, like, our go is over, technically. We went Warlock, go is over. We kept going Pally, we got more cooldowns. That's how you force as much cooldowns as you can from the enemy team. And here is one last game, guys, on Ashamane's Fall. This is the team we fought earlier with the Ellie Shaman, the Boomkin, and the Resto Shaman. So keep the same things in mind between going from the Ellie and the Resto, depending on Earth Shield. We don't want to force anything if it's not needed. Tried to go for a Sap there on Simply Shredded, but he is in combat, unfortunately. So I'm going to open up onto Renopie with the full sheep onto the Shaman. So we actually are opening in the Earth Shield here, which is a little subpar, but it's gonna be okay. We pop Dark Archangel and the Shaman Trinket and Walls. So we got Trinket Wall even though we opened into Earth Shield, and right away, since we got Trinket Wall and he has Earth Shield, there's no reason really to hit the Ellie right now. A lot of people would just continue to train the Ellie, and I don't think that's the right play here. Instead, we're going to Kidney the Resto Shaman, and I'm gonna pop a lot of damage onto him, and we're gonna get him to Trinket and swap Earth Shield. beautiful opener. We get Trinket Ball from the Ellie, we get Trinket or Shield from Simply Shredded. That means, guys, if we want to go either Shaman next, they're screwed no matter who has Earth Shield. So next big go, I guess, is we should win the game, depending on who has Earth Shield, right? So if the Ellie Shaman doesn't have Earth Shield, we're gonna blind Simply Shredded. I still have blind, yes, no Trinket, just blind Simply Shredded. You know, get some type of CC on the Moonkin, maybe a Fear, a Kick, something like that, a cheap shot, and then kill the Ellie Shaman 100 to 0, and it looks like it's gonna happen right here. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Look at that. Blind onto the Resto Shaman, Fear onto the Boomkin, Kidney onto the Ellie Shaman. Picture perfect. Take a screenshot, set it as your desktop screensaver. This is what we're talking about, guys. Full Kidney. Dance comes out, so much damage onto Reno Pike coming out. The blind and the fear eventually do fade, but it is too late. The Ellie Shaman goes down. These are the setups that you guys are going to want to go for when you're playing sub Frost RMP or sub Arcane RMP. That triple CC, big burst, really, you know, be mindful of defensive cooldowns, be mindful of Earth Shield, and kind of play around that. Guys, if this video is helpful, you know, working through your gameplay as a sub rogue, make sure to thumbs it up. And if you're not a sub rogue but you want to know how to play against them better, this video is teaching you basically what a sub rogue should be thinking of, so now you can play against sub rogues better as well. Thumbs video down, guys, if you didn't like it, and talk to me in the comments below about what kind of videos you want to see next. I do read almost all of the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. Peace.